Check out this clip from our must-see interview with co-founder of the Bible Project, Tim Mackie. You can find the full link to this interview in the notes and comments of this video. If you haven't yet, please take a second. It only takes a moment for you, but means so much for this ministry. Subscribe and turn on the alerts, as this is the best way to connect with our channel. So I want to move on to the unseen realm. So I know you guys, your spiritual being series was like revolutionary for me in so many ways. What we just talked about there and what we'll see here. It introduced me to Dr. Michael Heiser. We feature Heiser and the Divine Council Worldview frequently on this channel. We're currently involved in producing a documentary with Reuben Evans going over the legacy and teachings of Heiser. So I just want to hear from you.
That in some of our correspondence.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Tell me about your experience with Mike and what his work meant to you.
Oh, sure. Mike and I both did our graduate degrees in Hebrew Bible from the same program. My first year in the Hebrew Bible department at the University of Wisconsin in Madison was Mike's last year. So I never saw him day to day. He was putting the finishing touches on his dissertation. But his dissertation defense, which is kind of like, it's hard to describe. You've been laboring at a piece of research for years, and you submit it to a team of your teachers, and they go through it with a fine-tooth comb and expose every weakness and error. And then you have a meeting where you have to defend what you said, and then they show you it. Both acknowledge your strengths and weaknesses and give you a spanking in front of, the department.
Wow.
So Mike's was the first person I ever saw go through that experience. And I was terrified. But he did a great job, by the way. Oh, and his dissertation was on what is the definition of monotheism in the Hebrew Bible, specifically in Isaiah and in the Psalms, which talk often about Yahweh is the Elohim of Elohim, the God of gods. And who are these other Elohim and all that whole thing. So he was on it all the way back then. So I didn't get to know him super well, but I had a handful of conversations with him. Then it wasn't until he came out with Unseen Realm, and it was out a few years, but I came across it right when I was really sensing I need to lean in to these uncomfortable topics in biblical theology around spiritual evil. Who do I know who's the best to read on this? And, Mike's book had been out for a couple of years. And so I dove in. And then I found it so helpful and compelling that it entered a list of things I thought John and I should work through at some point in the Bible Project. And so when we did, we called Mike. And we asked him to come consult on the scripts that we were writing for that video series. So he came out for a week to Portland this would have been 2017. And that was super fun. That's probably the most time I've spent with him was that week. And we just would power all day with like whiteboards. And we have this kind of schematic drawing of how to abstractly represent spiritual beings in the Divine Council. And he helped us develop that. And it was super fun. And as I got to know Mike that way, what I learned was he and I both really shared a pastoral instinct that we wanted biblical studies and academics to be in service of helping just normal people understand the Bible better so they can follow Jesus more faithfully. And so I just came to just love and respect Mike and his work and what he was doing with it, because we were both kind of doing a non-traditional career route for having done a PhD in biblical studies. So there you go. So we connected a number of other times since then, and I was greatly saddened to hear about his losing battle with cancer. But I'm really grateful for what God did in and through him in his life. He was a no nonsense and also quirky. I mean, you have to be pretty quirky to get into this field of studies.
Yeah.
And so, but I came to really appreciate his quirkiness and both his humility, but also his frankness and directness. Like
Yeah.
I really came to value that. So anyway, I really am grateful for him, and I think he left a kingdom of God imprint on the world that's pretty special.
He did, and it's cool to hear that influence that he had on you, and just the to understand that weight of when you first met him in that moment of having his thesis exam. And I always like I'm there's a part of me that's thankful that I missed that part of academics, because it seems like it's like it can be stressful. Everybody that I've known is always very stressed during that time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, totally. Yeah.
So
And he's he's a different I think I also appreciate when you meet like minds, but that also that are really different, you know, that so he had a kind of a more of an encyclopedic research approach. And I tend to go where just I'm interested and I'm passionate, you know, and go from this topic and thing to the next. And I learned from Mike how to really systematically research a topic and work through it, probe the weak points in your understanding. And so I think that's one thing about his work in the unseen realm and other books is it's so thorough.
yeah,
And it's, you know, the one thing you don't think when you finish, you know, one of his substantial books is like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He
yeah.
like very clearly does, which is not always the vibe you get when you're reading about spiritual warfare, you know, writers and so on. So,
Well, that's cool. And that the series that he helped with was definitely rocked my world as well. We need your help. Ring Them Bells is a nonprofit organization where every dollar donated goes right back into the mission of spreading the good news and helping those in need. The main ministry of Ring Them Bells is serving those in need in the name of our King Jesus. We create pop-up feeding centers all across the United States to help feed the homeless. We also specialize in hurricane relief. We go into the hardest hit areas. We bring free cooked food. We bring important supplies. We're going to bring prayer to these people, and most importantly, we bring hope to those in need. And you can help with this. Over the past year, we have fed over 2,000 meals, and next year, we want to double that. We can't do this without your support. Everything we create here and all of the food that we serve is free because it's paid for by generous viewers just like you. If you feel led to donate and join the mission with us here at Ring Them Bells, click the Give Butter link in the notes and comments of this video. For anyone who donates monthly, we want to say thank you. We're going to mail you out some swag. You're going to be joined into our exclusive Bells Angels Club, where you'll get swag and exclusive content that no one else gets. If you can't support us financially, please continue to like and share the content, as this helps us so much with spreading the good news about what Jesus has done for our world. God is growing this community in ways that I could never imagine, and I am so grateful to be a part of this with you. We are literally just getting started here, folks. Stay tuned. The beginning is near.